Hi, my name is Alondra de Leon, and I'm going to present the death penalty is not effective. Why the death penalty is not effective? Many people, including governments, believe that to stop crime they should appeal the death penalty, but that is not the case. There is a lot of controversy over whether they should continue allowing the death penalty for those who commit crimes, because some agree and others do not. Although the death penalty has been practiced for a long time, it is best to stop practicing it because the death penalty will not end the crime. The reasons why the death penalty is not effective are the death penalty don't reduce crime, the criminals are not going to see the death penalty as a punishment, and people do not see it as a fair punishment for criminals. In my first body paragraph, I am going to talk about the death penalty does not deter crime, and the government of Indonesia keeps using the death penalty to combat narcotic crimes. The death penalty does not deter crime. In general, the average criminals do not have fears, or they are mentally sick, which affect their way of thinking or reasoning. The last thing they are going to worry is about the death penalty. The government of Indonesia keeps using the death penalty to combat narcotic crimes. The reason is that the Indonesian government continues to use the death penalty as a deterrent effect for narcotic crimes. The death penalty is not working to combat narcotic crimes because Haranton and Armin's article states that narcotic crimes in Indonesia are still high. Second body paragraph. Criminals do not see the death penalty as a punishment, and for criminals the death penalty is something that does not matter. Criminals do not see the death penalty as a punishment. Criminals normally do not have something to hold them to the world. That is why they commit crimes, because they have nothing to lose. And a person who has nothing to lose is not afraid of anything, even death. For criminals, the death penalty does not matter because they are going to die without paying anything. The best thing the government can do is use long and heavy punishment instead of using the death penalty, so that criminals have in mind the punishment and stop committing crimes. Third body paragraph. Common people don't see it as a fair punishment for criminals. If you ask a common person what they think about the death penalty for criminals, some people will not agree. Those persons think that sentencing someone to death is not a fair punishment for a criminal, because criminals should have a real punishment and not the fate of just dying. Commonly, the civilization see the intense and prolonged penalty as something better than sentencing criminals to the death penalty. Counter-argument. People argue that the death penalty is a moral punishment, stating that an A for an A is justified to promote a good and just society, rather than shun and evil. Refutation. When we talk about morally, we are referring to a good or bad attitude or action. If they want to appeal the death penalty as something moral, that goes against the people's morality, because they are indirectly killing someone else without obtaining any successful change. Conclusion. Being in favor of the death penalty will not have any deterrent effect to crime, like Indonesia, where they use it as a deterrent to narcotic crimes. But narcotic crimes remain higher. People think that it is an unfair punishment for criminals because they are going to die and do not pay anything for the damage caused. It is preferable to impose less cruel penalties, availed, intense, and prolonged over time because criminals do not see the death penalty as something that affects them. Questions. Are you against or in favor of the death penalty? If you were given the option to choose something to replace the death penalty, what would it be? These ones are my works cited to complete my essay.